Hello, and welcome to the All by the Popcorn podcast. I'm Emily.
And I'm Alessandra.
And today, we are talking about Black Widow. Finally
yes.
being released. like a year delayed.
Yeah, like over a year.
Yeah, I think it was supposed to release like last March or something. March of 2020 or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was patiently waiting for it to be added to Disney Plus. I thought it was ready. They were going to release it. Why didn't they just put it on Disney Plus while it was
didn't they put it on Disney Plus? But you had to pay for it.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it was ready to release last year. This could have been one of the first things that they added to not first things, I guess. Because when did Disney Plus release? 2019?
In 2019,
2019.
Late 2019. But dude, they wanted to make money off this movie. That was the reason why they made this movie. Marvel movies are obviously the TV shows they had already planned, but for this movie, it's it's a blockbuster. It's gonna make a ton of money. That's the point of it. So if they just released it on Disney Plus, they weren't gonna get as much money. Even if you had to pay $30 for it.
That's true. Because not everyone even has Disney Plus. And it's possible, once you kind of put movies on streaming services like that, then they're maybe a little bit too easy to get illegally.
Well, that's what they were saying with this movie. It was released at the same exact time as the in theaters one, and theaters were mad because they're just not seeing as many people going to the movies right now. But to be honest, it's not necessarily because of Disney Plus. It's also because of the fact that we're still in a pandemic and people aren't going out to the movie theaters as much. As I said in the last podcast, they restarted our AMC A-list. So I saw this movie in theaters, which I wanted to. So that was good that I got to enjoy it. Opening weekend. And you went as well, right? To the theaters?
Yes, this was the second movie I officially saw back in theaters. And not sure if I'll get a third one in. Only have a week left of this month. But I don't know. Didn't think there was... I do know Jungle Cruise is supposed to be releasing this month, right? July?
I think that, this week.
This week? So, I don't know. Maybe I'll go see that as my third movie. I'm just sticking to 2 to 3. Just however many I need to make the A-list pass worth it. I'm not gonna subject myself to the movies as many times as a week as I was before. I'm just gonna... Yes. Go see the high priority movies that we want to talk about, and just enough to make it worth my $23.95 or whatever the hell it costs now.
It's $25, I think.
Really? I just got charged and it was $23.90 something.
$23.90. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
but yes. Black Widow.
Yes.
Waiting so patiently for this movie. We were so excited to see it, and
didn't know when it was supposed to take place and everything.
No, it didn't. So okay, so just so I know that I'm correct, this happens kind of shortly after Civil War,
yes,
or right before Civil War happens,
right afterwards,
right after
Cap
the whole.
Is on the run, and various other people have been imprisoned. I think it was, Ant-Man and who else is also in that prison. Because everybody who was on Cap's side, lost.
Yes.
So
correct. Okay.
But I really kind of didn't. I should have watched Civil War in preparation and then watched the next movie after Civil War, which I think is Infinity War when it comes to, Cap and everybody. I think we kind of see what happens with them after that. Because at the very
it's possible,
end of
a Guardians came out or, a Thor came,
Black
all those
Panther
movies.
Came out, I think.
Well, that's true. All those
bunch
other
of
movies.
Stuff came out after, but it was we didn't get the character. Like, we had Ant-Man as well, I think. Ant-Man and the Wasp or whatever. Or no, that was actually after Infinity War. Anyway, there was a couple things between this, when this was supposed to take place. I honestly think this should have been released during that time. It is weird that it was so retroactively happening, especially after we know the fate of Natasha Romanoff in Endgame, and then watching her in this movie. Like, it definitely increased the emotions, but
for sure.
I think her death would have hit harder in Endgame if we have had this movie before. It wasn't just like a movie that's stuck in there,
Yeah, because even though like you and I genuinely like Natasha Romanoff as a Marvel character, but like, yeah, if we really wanted to, like, I didn't cry when she died. I only cried when Iron Man died. Because we've gotten so much Iron Man, and just love of Iron Man is just there, just in my heart forever. Definitely having a little bit of backstory with Natasha would have definitely helped. Like, yeah, definitely increase those emotions and probably have me shed a tear for her in Endgame. Mm-hmm. But I mean, yeah, this is a little out of place for it to be happening so back in time. I mean, it is the Marvel Universe. Things can really happen whenever they want. So, I mean, it's not super surprising, but it is a little interesting. It is a little interesting that they chose this kind of specific time, which, I mean, makes the most sense because this is when Natasha would have had the most downtime.
Right.
Being on the run, technically.
Yeah.
And just doing her own thing.
We got some clarity in this about, obviously it references Budapest.
Yes. Budapest. Yes.
All of that situation, and how she said she had red on her ledger in the very first Avengers movie, and that she went on this mission with Hawkeye, and it turns out that she was trying to kill the Red Room dude, Dreykov, and so she went after his daughter to get to him, like basically blew up the whole building that he was in.
Yeah, including her. Which is like kind of a main focal point, not like a main focal point, but like it's a pretty big portion of the story that happens, like, of kind of like how Natasha's feeling about, what she's done and what she's trying to, I guess, like wipe away her sins in a way. Like, she's trying to help people. She's trying to help the people that this man has wronged, and I guess there was a greater need to kill this man and have like very few casualties, even if it was like a little girl.
Right, and like I think it's interesting because as like a bad guy, he was already established in her like entire story as the bad guy. Like, we didn't even really need him in the story. He was like hardly in it, and he was really only in the end, and it was kind of just like everything surrounding him was more like visually there and like present, but the whole like idea that he came back from the dead basically and continued the Red Room, and that it's actually happening underneath Natasha's nose, and
like
that
for
she
so
like
many years,
like she finally figured out that it was happening, but it was just like, I don't know, it felt kind of like it was thrust in there awkwardly. Like, how did she not know about this? Like, all these things, and I don't know, but I still liked it a lot. I'm not saying I didn't like it. It's just like, is she not looking out for the signs of like these, widows all around the world because they were there?
Yeah, I mean, just the fact that the main villain wasn't like didn't show up a lot does make sense, because it kind of just shows just how powerful he is. He has like so many people working for him, or brainwashed by him. But yeah, I really don't see, unless Natasha was just so far removed. But like, honestly, he said he had Black Widows everywhere, and like, I guess, I mean, her sister was Florence Pugh's character was kind of stuck in there, brainwashed for a while. So maybe like maybe she just like stayed off the radar, like, and obviously couldn't tell Natasha what was happening because she was brainwashed. So, but until she was like freed by that compound that someone had made, that red glitter, that red powder, that like unbrainwashes people. Yeah, I guess it seems a little weird that with how observant and like professional Natasha is, that she couldn't have figured out that this was still happening. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
she's a spy. She should know what's happening. But
the full story of this, I think, is actually very effective. As a starting from the very beginning of a secret mission that their family, in quotes, was going on. The fact that, they were put together to be a sleeper, like, or a cell family, like a spy family in the middle of Ohio. And that the young Yelena didn't even know that she was, like, somebody who was trafficked and, like, owned by the Russians, basically, by this, like, guy. By Dreykov, like, her whole life, and she had, like, no idea, and she was, like, only 6 years old and thought she really had a real family with, Alexei and Melina and Natasha. So that, like, whole family-oriented story was, like, really well done, and even starting from the very beginning, watching them escape from America and in the plane and being shot at, and then, like, Natasha trying to protect her younger sister at the airport in Cuba, along with, like, Alexei being, like, a dad that was also an agent, and so just kind of, like, having to see his feelings about letting go his children as well. It was, like, a really, like, so many layers of pain already from the very beginning of this movie. And then just the girls being trafficked and whatever, like, it was just so, like, heart-wrenching, and these actresses were really great, too.
The two, like, little girl actresses were so good. Yeah, and this movie, like, started really interesting as well. Like, yes, with the whole secret mission happening, but then with that, like, kind of scary, like, montage that happened right afterwards, like with Nirvana, starting with, like, all the girls getting, like, taken, and, like, and then the pigs and the scientist room, like the laboratories, and like it honestly felt like the theme song to True Blood. Just all those random, like, scary images, like, that's honestly what I was feeling when it was happening. But yeah, very dark as well. Like, it's, and might I say, topical as well, with what's happening in today's society. Casey, my roommate who went with me, they were even, a little, not concerned, but they were wondering why they didn't see, like, I don't know, like a PSA about, like, trafficking or something, like, I don't know, or like I don't know, it just seemed like the movie just was it was talking about this thing very specifically, and, like, maybe they could have had, like, I don't know, a charity at the end or something, I don't know, or, like, something, something mentioning something.
It's like, a lot of,
I know Marvel doesn't do that, but it just felt like that kind of movie, that it was, like, very hyper focused on this topic.
Well, that was, like, Taken as well. Like, that movie Taken with Liam Neeson. That's also about trafficking and stuff. Like, sex trafficking and stuff. Which, it definitely went into that territory. It was a PG-13, I think.
Oh, was it?
I believe so. They said, like, shit and stuff in it. So,
yeah, PG-13.
Yeah.
Aren't all movies aren't all Marvel movies PG-13 or no?
I don't know, but I mean, this could have easily been R if they really wanted it to be. But the thing is, like, they're not going to make as much money.
No.
But yeah, like, the themes are pretty strong. It says, like, strong themes here, which it definitely is, and it's an action movie, but it's also pretty serious in a lot of ways. It wasn't like, I think that the comedy from it was definitely just with the characters, obviously with Alexei and Florence Pugh's characters.
This wasn't a very funny. It wasn't a very funny movie. I mean, there were just some very like lighthearted moments, like
cracking some jokes,
and cracking some jokes here and there, like, kind of lighten the mood. But all in all, it stayed very serious and yeah. I mean, the scenes with Florence and ScarJo were just adorable. Just them being sisters. Florence was amazing. She was.
You were just waiting for me to just gush about Florence Pugh.
I was waiting. I mean, do we want to start with Florence? I mean, how do we want to do this? We've kind of just bounced around and just touched on a couple of things, but like, I'm trying to think. It feels like it's been eons since I've seen this movie already.
I was gonna go see it again, but I didn't have time.
I actually do want to see it again. Yeah, I can't wait for it to get on Disney Plus because I'm gonna watch it again.
I think I'm gonna go see it in IMAX because the first time I saw it, I didn't see it in IMAX. I just saw it in like digital.
Oh.
I think I'm gonna go like see the big one.
Oh, gonna go sit in the big theater. With all the big sounds and the big booms.
The big booms.
The big booms.
It'll make me all really scared.
Yeah, probably. I'm honestly trying to think back. Like, my mind is just not working right now.
Well, we first see her in Morocco when she is that sleeper. Like, she's that agent with the brainwashed because of, like, they actually, like, wired their brain to be, like, able to be actually altered. So basically, like, their personalities and everything were just to follow that guy, Dreykov. And
they could sense, they could feel everything that was happening and see everything. Like, they knew what was happening, but they were like trapped. They couldn't. Yeah, they were trapped inside their own bodies, basically.
Yeah, so we see her like actually murder one of her fellow widows to get freed, and then it changes over to Natasha. But just like watching her in the beginning, you're like, oh, she's a really good fighter. She's excellent at murdering, as Alexei says, like, later when they're talking, he's talking to both of them and he's like, you were like the youngest assassin and you've killed so many people. Like, that was so funny. He was like, I'm so proud of my girls.
He's like, that's a great accomplishment that you've made. And she's just like, shut up. This is not what I want to be known for.
But her dry, like, humor throughout the entire thing was amazing. Like, her sarcastic, like, joking about Natasha, really ratting on her about being an Avenger, just being like, you land and you pose and
you're such a poser.
Stuff. Yeah, you're such a poser. And just everything.
And her cute little vest, with pockets.
She's like, I bought this for myself. It was like the first thing I bought for myself, and it's just like her character was so infectious and so. I mean, obviously, Florence is a very attractive person in a lot of ways, not just because of how she looks, but her personality, her way of acting, her emotion, especially when she was talking about having a family and how much that meant to her, and just like she does this like frowny thing a lot, like she's like when she's trying to cry, like she just like gets so overcome with emotion that she just like makes a really ugly crying face, and it's like the best thing about her, honestly. It's like
She has an amazing cry face.
Yeah,
like
it's
wonderful. Like, she's so good at crying.
I made so much fan art of her, including one where she's making her frowny face in Midsommar.
Oh yes.
She's just so fantastic. Just watching her do all the physical stuff as well. Obviously, big shout out to their stunt doubles, because they did a lot of fighting as well, and it was really fun action. One of the moments I really liked was when she was talking to Alexei and Natasha in the plane, and they had just rescued Alexei, and then Alexei was like, "What, are you on your period?" And she's like, "No, I don't get my period because they ripped out our uterus."
Yeah, and then they just went in, scraped it all out. and pulled it out.
Just like such a, I really enjoyed that. It was such a graphic discussion of women's reproductive system. Like, just like the joke was there and it just kept going. And it was like, the fact that they were so violated is like, it's on a level that it's so ridiculous that it was funny, even though it's not funny, you know? And it's just like, she managed to make that work because of the way that she gave the scene. Like, I think it really is not easy to have something that's that layered come off as comedy like that. And it worked out very well, you know? Yeah. Just like,
I also liked how practical a lot of the movie felt. I mean, nothing felt too like over CG'd or like, you know, too like grandiose or like extravagant.
Except for
like,
the floating city thing.
Except for the, oh yes, I didn't get to see that because I had gotten a large root beer. And you know, I never go to the bathroom during the movie, but I really had to. So I actually kind of missed that part. It was the part I missed.
You saw it falling out of the sky, though.
I did see that part. You said the flying. At that part, it was falling.
Right. Falling with style.
I saw the falling city. I didn't see the flying city. Right. They were already in the flying city by the time I came back. But but yeah. Helicopters. Okay. And but yeah, going back to like the fight scenes.
They're like right outside your window.
They always are. I don't know why, but like my neighborhood is just like the flight path of all helicopters.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so and I thought, and I just liked how the fight scenes like just didn't seem, it kind of felt like, I don't want to say this like and make it seem like I'm saying it in a harsh way. Like it felt like low budget, but like it felt more like practical. Like it wasn't, like no one had any, because again, we're dealing with basically just a human who's like an amazing fighter. Like we're not dealing with anyone with powers or anyone with like special suits or anything like this. It's just very like practical fighting. I mean, the only person who kind of has powers is Alexei.
Alexei.
Alexei, because he was like the first Russian super soldier, basically. Like he had his own like costume and get up and everything. Like he was like
hilarious. He
was like a Russian hero, back in the day, and so he like had super strength and stuff like that. But and it was really cool seeing David Harbour like in that character, because like you
love him.
Yeah, because like you kind of get a sense of what he was like. In the very beginning, you know, being the family, being like a really sweet dad, and then kind of being like a heartless spy once they get to the Cuban airport. And then when they finally meet up with him again, he's like joking and like kind of, you know, almost like a feel sorry for himself. He's like I could have been Russia's like hero, and they threw me in jail. And you know, and he's joking around and like just making all these like funny comments and observations and things, and it was weird seeing all those like different sides of him. It was like I liked him obviously, but it was just he just felt like kind of all over the place, but like in a good way.
Well, that's how good of an actor is. I mean, we see it obviously in his most famous role from
Stranger Things.
Yeah, Stranger Things. And he is like, he has that dichotomy in that as well, where he's like a grumbly cop, but then he also like lost a daughter, and so he's got this like super, super soft side to him in that too. And so like that was a big role for him. He got like skyrocketed. I mean, he's been an actor for a long time, but it's just like after that, now he can do roles like this. I mean, he was also in Hellboy, but that wasn't like a very commercially like, you know, very large movie. But like this one, I mean, this is a big movie.
A lot of people didn't like that movie. Right. The remake. Remake
but
of
this
Hellboy.
one, he's like not in makeup, you know, he's you know, just straight up showing off his acting chops, and is obviously excellent.
Yeah, he did phenomenal. Like David Harbour's really good. Like he's really good.
And it's so funny because in Stranger Things, he's like supposed to be in Russia right now, like in the show.
Yeah.
And like it's just like
I bet there's so many like weird theories about like a crossover between Stranger Things and Marvel now.
I know. He becomes the super soldier or something.
He becomes the Red Dynamo or something, whatever his name is.
It's like the timing, you know? It's like, it's good.
What they call it? Red Guardian? What did he call himself? Like Florence said like a joke name, and then I think it's Red Guardian or something.
Yeah, something like that. It's just, it's so funny.
And she jokingly said like Red Dynamo or something.
There's so many, like, I like the spy aspects, like when they were trying to break him out of the jail, but also paired with like they don't have a plan thing. Like it was pretty funny that they just like went there with half a plan, and then they were like, okay, I guess we're gonna figure out how to get him out, and the avalanche comes, and it's just like chaos. And it's great.
Yeah.
And even when they meet Rachel Weisz's character, who is also like a perfect mother figure, excellent, beautiful, iconic Rachel Weisz. Just like seeing her be also the like kind of spy mind, like genius, and having their plan go through with the whole switching of the faces thing that we'd seen in Civil War, or in Winter Soldier. So that was like really great to bring that back as well.
Yeah, and it's and again, still kind of like just uncovering the stuff about her as we just learn about her, because in the beginning we just see her as a mother figure, and then everything just kind of goes silent, and then we find out that she's like a genius, that she's like a genius scientist
with pigs, like living on
pigs,
the farm, like teaching
and is
them.
just the most adorable person that you would ever meet. So like a lot of range with these characters that like it was just an absolute joy to just uncover as they happened. I mean, it was really a movie that like I don't even really know what shined. Yes, the ensemble shine, and just like, I don't want to say like unpredictable, but like I really didn't know what to expect when I was going into this movie. I really had and I think that was probably like the way for a lot of people, because I mean, before a Marvel movie happens, everyone has their theories and whatever. You don't really know until you go and see it to really know what's happening. And this, I just felt like I couldn't really guess. Like, I was just like, okay, I was just taking it as it came. Like, I was just experiencing it as each minute passed, and there was no, like, predicting or being like, oh, what about this, what about that? Like, it just was very well-rounded. Very well-rounded story.
And a lot of, like, different beats, you know, and that's what we really expect from a good Marvel movie. I think this one was definitely up there. Like, it is a great Marvel movie. It is really jam-packed, but also has a lot of really like unique themes to this character particularly. And so, you know, that's the good thing about Marvel, is we can have all these tales and have these stories that are obviously based on comic books that other people have already kind of put together, these amazing plot lines and bad guys and stories. And I think this one is definitely a fun one. I definitely can't wait to watch it again because of all the action and all of the hilarity, and just watching Florence Pugh again. But also Scarlett Johansson. I mean, this is like a big deal for her to be in her leading role in something that she's been working towards, in a character that she probably won't revisit again. Obviously because she died. So it was like
unless stuff takes place in the past where Black Widow would be alive again. Like that's
or
really
the
only way
stuff, but
but or like the theory. Did I tell you about the theory that I saw about Loki?
There's I mean, it's gonna tie into Doctor Strange and with Wanda and everything too.
Yeah, but like I was on TikTok, and there was a theory, like someone
with Kang. Well, right? That's what you're talking about?
No, not with Kang. It was like someone noticed something in a scene in Loki. So there was like a scene where everyone was looking at all the different branches being created,
Yeah.
And under the picture, there were a bunch of different names of the areas that were creating these branches, creating these Nexus events. And one of them said Vormir.
Oh, okay.
So there's a theory that maybe the TVA went back and maybe fixed Natasha's thing and maybe she didn't die. I don't know. But or that. Because the fact that it was creating a Nexus event, probably when she was dying. Whatever, stuff like that.
Oh, when you get into the multiverse, it's like, what?
What's gonna happen?
There's endless possibilities. Okay, so there's no way you could predict where the story's gonna go. What is reality in that sense after that? I mean, it's just it's overwhelming, and there's writers for that, which we'll talk about when we talk about Loki.
Yeah, I'm excited for all the future stuff coming from Marvel. I just wonder if it's gonna be chaotic or not. Because we're delving into some crazy stuff, it seems, and yeah. I don't even know what to expect. I mean, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. I'm gonna say that. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. Okay, well, let's look at this.
What about that end credit scene?
Oh, yeah. That was going to say that. That was very emotional. The end credit scene. Yelena visits Natasha's grave. And we have the lady from
Falcon and the Winter
Soldier.
I don't remember what her name was.
Played by Julia Louis-Dreyfus. I forgot
she
approaches... her name. No.
Yeah, what's her name? So something with a V, right?
Yeah, Vanessa or something. Let's see. Let's see what her name was in Valentina Allegra de Fontaine.
Okay.
So she recruited in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. She recruited the.
Recruited the anti-Cap. What was his name?
Anti-Cap. Wyatt Russell's character.
What's his name? John Walker or something?
Yes, John Walker, Emily. Good job. You remembered that.
I just pulled that out of my ass.
Yeah, you're right. We didn't even mention it, but we didn't mention it during the podcast for that, but he's Kurt Russell's actual son. Wyatt Russell is. I forgot to mention that. And I knew this when I was watching it, too. And I was like, oh, shit, that's Wyatt Russell. I knew him from other stuff. Everybody Wants Some and the playtest episode of Black Mirror. And I knew that he was... Okay. It's in the third season of Black Mirror, or the second season, I think. He was great in both of those things, and... Kurt Russell is also in the Marvel Cinematic Universe because he plays Ego. And I was like, this is the first father-son. They're different roles in the same universe.
Oh my goodness. It's so cute.
I know.
So cute. I also heard on it was either Instagram or whatever today that Henry Cavill is talking with Marvel about being in something.
Why? He's Superman.
Oh, he doesn't have to be Superman anymore.
I know. God.
He can make so much more money coming over to Marvel.
I bet. Why does he just play The Witcher? What if The Witcher was part of the Marvel universe? Just throw him in there. No. But I think Henry could be something real good. I don't even know what superheroes are left, but they'll find someone. There's millions. There's millions and billions of superheroes left. They'll find something tons. For him. There's tons of them. Dude.
They'll find something for him to do. But yeah, so the end credits scene. Obviously we should put spoilers above this. It's been out for a couple weeks, but people might have not seen it yet.
Yes.
Anyway. Spoiler alert, we're talking about the end credit scene. So what's Florence's character's name? Alina or something?
Yelena.
She obviously works for Valentina, right? Is
Yes.
that her name?
Yes. She's mentioned that she needed a raise.
Yeah, she says that she needs a raise, and she said, you're not supposed to talk to me on my day off, and blah, blah, blah. And then Valentina brings up, like, do you want to know who killed your sister? And she shows her a picture of Hawkeye.
Which we all know is not true.
Is not true.
You know what happened? She literally yeeted herself off that thing.
She
herself. She was like, I'm going.
She herself, restrained him and then jumped off that cliff. So, no, it's not Barton's
extra
fault.
Sure that she was the one who did this, not him.
For sure. And we can talk about another theory. I should have sent this to you, but my friend from work who'd already seen it said that he was going to send me a link to a BuzzFeed article after I'd seen the movie.
Okay.
I don't know if you saw it.
No.
But it was, and we could post it on our social media or whatever. I don't know, whatever. So not sure what that's going to tie into, either another movie or I know something Hawkeye related is supposed to be a show, but I know it's not going to do with Barton. It's going to do with something else, like another, the person who takes up the Hawkeye, mantle.
Okay.
Because, Barton's, that's
Retiring.
Yes. I thought it was going to be Barton's daughter, but there's also someone else in the comic universe that also becomes Hawkeye as well. That isn't his daughter. So I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I forgot
about that entirely. I completely forgot that was going to become a show with his daughter, because they think they cast it as well.
Yeah, I think that's going to be coming up in the next couple of years. I thought it was on the first wave of post Disney Plus releasing stuff. It was in that whole smorgasbord. I don't know, whatever stuff coming out.
Yes, the whole phase.
The whole phase, yes, phase 11 or something, whatever the hell phase we're on. And so I hear a lot of theories about Florence possibly becoming the next Black Widow character.
Makes sense.
What was it? The BuzzFeed article I read. I should have sent it to you because it's just what makes watching Black Widow now makes this scene a lot more emotional. It's in Endgame or something, or in Infinity War, Natasha's wearing the vest that Florence character yes. I need to just send you this right now.
This is
I'm gonna send you this link right now. And there's a theory that that Natasha offed herself over Barton because the theory is that Yelena, what's her name? Yelena,
yes.
Yelena got taken away in the blip in the thing. So she killed herself in order to bring her sister back. Yeah.
She definitely. That makes so much sense. I mean, obviously lots of people left in the blip, and I need to send this.
And
she looked very sad eating that sandwich in Endgame, so I bet her sister left.
Oh, for sure.
She was sad sandwich eating in that movie.
For sure. Okay, I'm sending Alessandra this BuzzFeed article. We will also post it wherever. I don't know. We can post it. I don't know. We'll post it after we post this episode, obviously, or at the same time.
GIF of Florence on the beginning of this article. She's flying her head back and forth. God, I love her so much.
It's a really quick read. You read it while I'm reading the plot keywords and getting started on the Metascore.
You got it, buddy.
All right, here we go. Plot keywords we got for Black Widow are superheroine, Marvel Cinematic Universe, based on comic book, superhero, and spy. Cool.
I can't believe this. I can't believe that this vest situation.
Yes, the vest is very important. It's very important.
Yeah, she's wearing it throughout Infinity War. It totally makes sense that she would have been blipped.
For sure.
You know. It's 50-50 chance. So. And she also didn't really age as well, but nobody ages. I mean,
no. No.
The age difference between Florence Pugh and Scarlett Johansson is like 10 years or something.
Oh, really?
I'm pretty sure. Like, Florence is like...
I think they did something to make Natasha look a little younger in this movie, right? Because she looked like she was like a little, I don't know, like very slightly, obviously. I mean, Scarlett Johansson hasn't changed at all in these past however many years old she is.
Well, she was born in 1984, and
whoa,
Florence Pugh was born in 1996, like I said.
So she's 10 years older than us.
Yeah. So she's 12 years older than Florence Pugh, who admittedly looks older. Like, she's always looked this way. Like, she kind of can play a character that's 30-ish, and you would be like, sure.
How old is Florence?
She's 25.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. But when she was, like, in Midsommar, she was, like, 22? 21?
Yeah. Midsommar came out, a couple of years ago. So, yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
sure.
It's that raspy voice she's got. She's got, like, when she grew up, she had, her throat, like, has something up with its, vocal cords or something. Like, she had some kind of, inflammation or disease that was
like in Pitch Perfect, she got nodes.
Yeah, I think it's like something similar to that, but she had to get like surgeries and things when she was younger.
Wow.
So she's had this kind of like raspy voice since she was a kid.
Am I surprised you know this? No, because Alessandra is high key in love with Florence Pugh. So
Yeah.
Of course she knows this.
It's just a thing about her. Is it that weird?
I would never look this stuff up, though.
I didn't look it up. It just, I mean, she's been in my circles for, some time now, and I do also watch like every single story that she posts on Instagram. So,
okay. We're not doubting that you're a super fan and that you love her. I'm not doubting it.
I haven't seen all of her movies.
That's true. How many more do we have left? Should we do a Florence Pugh episode? There's
quite a few.
We haven't done one of those in so long where we just talk about one actor or actress or like director. We haven't done that since Keira Knightley, I don't think.
That was like our third episode.
That was when we didn't know what to talk about, and now we have too much things to talk about.
We've had like 260 something episodes that we've posted on our SoundCloud. So this was 5 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, listeners, if this is something you want us to do again, we did it once, way back in the day. But we'll do it again. I mean, these movies will always be around for us to talk about. So, like, it doesn't matter. All right. Metascore.
I'm moving over to the Metascore. So it's got a 67 Metascore, which is pretty good. It's in the green. I
honestly thought it would be higher.
Yeah.
But someone must have hated it.
Well, there's 2 negative reviews.
Oh, there you go.
There's 15 mixed reviews and 38 positive reviews.
Wow. Let's go down to the bottom here.
I mean, let's see
what the hell happened.
The San Francisco Chronicle absolutely hated it. It says, Black Widow is what happens when movies abandon human values for the emotional deadness and emptiness of the superhero movie. What?
Okay. No.
That is very harsh. Very harsh.
I completely do not agree with this. I think Marvel has brought a lot of human values and emotional aliveness to their very lovely characters. I don't know. I'm biased. Don't talk to me.
We're very biased.
I will die for Marvel. For sure. But no, I mean, people have a lot of love and heart for these characters, and I think they've shown great emotional range in a lot of these movies. So like, I don't know what emptiness, like sure, like, is Star-Lord an empty hero? Maybe. Like,
yeah,
he's just kind of he's just kind of there. I mean, but like, you just have to. Okay, I'm not saying all of them are good, but not all of them are bad. So, like, there you go. That's what I'm going to say. That's where I'm going to leave it.
Clearly, this person is not charmed by Florence Pugh.
which I find very hard to believe.
Maybe they're so twisted around in so many ways that they just gave it such a bad review because they liked it so much that I hate it. I don't know. I'm trying.
I think they just hated it for some reason. By the way, I loved seeing all the other Black Widows. Like,
oh yeah,
it'd be kind of fun to maybe see like a spin-off of one of the Black Widows. Like, you know, see if there's a comic about a Black Widow that, you know, got out and like did their own cool thing. Like, not like Natasha, but like someone else. Like, that'd be cool.
Well, I mean, I think Yelena is like the best way to move forward with this storyline, and it makes the most sense. But obviously, it's not going to be what we think is going to be because of the whole Valentina thing. So, you know, got to keep us on our toes. We don't know what she's doing there. We don't know what that fast talking Julia Louis-Dreyfus is going to do.
She's got something planned, and we don't know what it is.
She's playing the middle for sure. She's like something going on.
I want to read one of these mixed reviews.
Yeah, read one of the mixed.
There's quite a few of them. I'm gonna read the Telegraph. They gave it a 60. For the most part, it's as briskly enjoyable. Whoa.
Oh, you got nodes?
Whoa, maybe. Okay. For the most part, it's as briskly enjoyable as the studio's output tends to be, with likable characters trading polished repartee, while large computer-generated objects explode convincingly in the background. Yet, perhaps for the first time, the briskness often doesn't sit right with the material at hand.
Valid.
All right. I don't know.
I'm going to read this 63 from Washington Post. As gratifying as it is that Johansson has finally gotten the movie her character has long deserved, not to mention a worthy and equally watchable foil in Pugh, Black Widow simultaneously feels like too much and too little. Da Ivania, Natasha, we hardly knew ye.
Okay, so is that kind of what... I mean, is that what people are not liking about this movie? Is that we still don't really know too much about Natasha and now she's just gone? Like,
I guess.
I mean, yeah, I'll admit this is a very small, like, I mean, they really tried to, like, sum it all up in that first scene and, like, that creepy montage. But overall, I thought the timeline that they chose and like the story within this timeline that they chose was fun. I mean, maybe looking back, we still don't know too much about Natasha. That, you know, it's still kind of like a same idea about her. But for some reason, watching this movie, I felt like It felt like Natasha Romanoff. It felt like watching Black Widow, like in the other movies, but still like different. Like it didn't quite feel the same as like the other movies that we've gotten her in, and which is why I'm gonna play it safe and just right along in the middle with this movie. I didn't hate it, but I think it's the best Marvel movie ever? No, because when we went in, or before we went in to go see the movie, I guess all the reviews that we'd been hearing or whatever is that Black Widow's the best Marvel movie ever made. I don't think that's true.
No.
I think there are definitely some better ones that were made. But I mean, is this the standard that I've set myself up for Marvel movies going forward? Yes, and I think it definitely reached that standard that I now hold Marvel at. Like, there's no, like, we're not making any more Iron Man 2s here. Like, we gotta, like there's a standard now, and I think this is continuing that standard, for me at least.
That was a great thesis, Emily.
Thank you.
Yes.
It only got 100, so we have to read it.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Original Sin gave it a 100. Shortland has given us a fast-paced movie with action sequences, character depth, and very subtle social and political subtext about the way women are seen, treated, and exploited in the world.
A+.
Boom, bam, done.
Hands down. Right there.
Boom, bam, bam, done.
Themes that a women director put into this, even though this was written by men, for sure. Let's go.
Well, from a man's perspective, it's probably not as valid as it should be, but it's still being said, and it's still important to know about. Yep. All right. Is that officially the end of Black Widow for us?
I think so. Maybe I'll go see it again in theaters, but so many of you may have noticed, but we got a TikTok. Our handle is All by the Popcorn Podcast.
Is there an @ at the beginning? Is that how TikTok works? No, okay.
I don't think so. I think you can just search it and it'll show up. And we posted a story today, that was as we were recording this, that I edited together. So we're going to try to bring you some stuff in the future, possibly. It just takes me a minute to edit things. So we'll see.
I don't know how to do anything, so we are purely relying on Alessandra and her availability. I mean, I could make TikToks. They just won't be good.
They don't have to be good.
And they probably won't be anything about the podcast episode at all, because I won't have any of the footage. Alessandra will have all the footage.
That's okay. Like, you can do other film-related things as well. This is our film TikTok.
I'll tire everyone out. I'll tire everyone out with all the trends that are happening, and I'll make movie-related trends to the things that are happening on TikTok that literally millions and billions of people are already making. I will do that I'll do that just for you guys. I will do that. I will do that. I am lying through my teeth. I will not do any of that. I'll try. I will try my best.
We're not quippy enough, but I was very proud of it. It's just a little bit of our Downton shenanigans, which are always very fun. So go check that out.
Yes. You posted it before posting it, or as you posted the episode? Like it's like
the same time.
The same time. Okay. All right. Well, that was Black Widow. We are very excited to see what comes next. We'll probably talk about Loki at some point. But that's a little bit of an episode in the making. But
yes.
Just look forward to that. We will be talking about Loki as it has completed. But that was Black Widow. If you enjoyed this episode, please rate and review our show on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Stitcher. Please follow our social media. We now have TikTok. Just search All by the Popcorn Podcast, right? Mm-hmm. And follow us on there. We'll try and have some fun content for you. And there's Twitter @by the Popcorn and Instagram @All by the Popcorn Podcast. We also have Facebook. Just search All by the Popcorn Podcast and like our page. We have a YouTube channel, All by the Popcorn Podcast, and subscribe to that. And if you just want to email us, say hello, give us any suggestions for future episodes, please email us at allbythepopcornpodcast@gmail.com. And we also have some merch, so please check that out. Thanks everyone for listening.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Bye.
Goodbye.